Due to the shrinking market and overcapacity, more and more lithium battery companies are closing down. Slitting machines, roller presses, winding machines, and glove boxes, the parts that were originally purchased at a huge cost, have now become pile after pile of scrap. Now many business owners have rolled up their sleeves. In Changzhou, next to Wuxi, many factories in the lithium battery industry have half shut down, and the bosses are trying to find a stable job. Changzhou brings together many leading upstream and downstream companies in power batteries and new energy vehicles, such as CATL and China Innovation Aviation. When there are many orders, production line workers can earn more than 10,000 yuan a month, but now that the boom has passed, there are no orders and many factories are half closed. There's no work to do, and the boss wants to find other work himself. All I can say is, it's a sad story for those at the bottom and a happy story for those at the top. After the Chinese New Year, mainland China's lithium battery industry has been plagued by production halts, layoffs, and salary cuts. Industry insiders suggest that the current semi-shutdown of lithium battery factories has become the norm. Moreover, oversupply in the lithium battery industry has affected the entire industry chain. According to a report by China's First Financial on April 1st, a vice general manager of an upstream lithium battery company revealed that there's no work. Bosses are struggling to stabilize their teams. Workers are either working half the time or resting. This manager stated that a lack of orders has become the norm throughout the entire supply chain. Due to insufficient orders, some employees have left their jobs at Calbtech. Their general manager mentioned that orders aren't as good as they were the same time last year. If companies cannot find orders in the next 2 months, the first half of the year will basically be idle. Several leading power companies have settled in Changzhou, Jiangsu Province. Companies such as CATL, Calbtech, and Ferasis Energy have established factories there, along with many businesses upstream and downstream in the power battery and EV industries. Every year after the Chinese New Year, young people from across China come here to find work. This year is different. A young person from Hebei Province said that this year, battery factories either aren't hiring or offering low wages. Some even require night shifts. He has returned to Hebei. There are often intermediaries recruiting people to work in battery factories, claiming that the work is easy and the pay is high. What's the real situation? Don't even build a battery factory. It's a path to ruin. I've worked all through my childbearing years. In terms of salary, at BYD, the basic salary is 2,300 yuan a month. That's 12-hour days. 2 hours deducted for mealtime, night shift subsidy is 6 yuan a night, meal subsidy is 5 yuan a day, 12 hours a day for the whole month. There's no day off, and the pay for overtime work is about 6,000 yuan. For example, Zhonghang Battery was very popular online last year. All the intermediaries on the internet were touting a salary of 7,000 to 8,000 yuan, but after joining, the salary was only more than 6,000 yuan, and this was a 12-hour, 2-shift situation. If you want to get a high salary in an electronics factory, you have to work overtime or get promoted. As far as I know, the only electronics factories that can get more than 8,000 yuan are Yuanjing and Ningde, and it depends on the position. When working in an EV battery factory, you must wear dust-free clothes. Working 2 12-hour shifts, mostly standing shifts, it was difficult to go to the toilet at the end of the day, and I would only go there when I couldn't stand it. Some people say that their backs hurt from carrying batteries every day, and others say that their hands are peeling after working for 2 days. Lithium batteries will produce a large amount of dust during production, and if this dust is not cleaned up in time, it will cause great harm to workers if they inhale it. Generally speaking, the average salary in battery factories is around 6,000 yuan, and you can get 7,000 if you work overtime. So when some online agencies say it's easily 7,000 or 8,000 yuan and the food, accommodation, and treatment are good, I wonder why these people don't work there themselves. The Chinese Communist Party, CCP, has promoted the rapid development of EVs in China. However, the good times did not last long. Now, with the end of the investment frenzy, the lithium battery industry faces the shadow of overcapacity and price wars. Since the fourth quarter of 2022, Chinese EV sales have slowed. New energy vehicles are major consumers of batteries, and weakening demand now affects the entire lithium battery industry chain.
Look, the BYD project, with an investment of 30 billion yuan, has a construction site covering thousands of acres of land right across the street. It is currently suspended. Yichun lithium battery quickly expanded and suddenly stopped. Will BYD construction sites resume work?
In the past 3 years, a large amount of domestic capital has entered the lithium carbonate industry, resulting in serious overcapacity, and the growth of new energy vehicles has far lagged behind the growth of lithium carbonate. Starting this year, the entire EV supply chain will downsize.
Lithium carbonate has fallen below cost. A large number of lithium companies in Yichun, the lithium capital of Asia, have suspended production. The global supply and demand of lithium carbonate has been imbalanced. In 2023, global lithium carbonate supply will be 1.2 million tons, and consumption will be 1.03 million tons, an increase of 400,000 tons and 300 tons, respectively, from 2022. This year, the imbalance between supply and demand will continue to expand. The total global supply will reach 1.4 million tons, and the total consumption will be 1.25 million tons, a difference of 185,000 tons. Australian lithium gold mines and South American Salt Lake lithium extraction will contribute the bulk, contributing 454,000 tons and 382,000 tons, respectively. Domestic lepidolite, 149,000 tons. Spodumene, 142,000 tons. Waste recycling, 109,000 tons. In China, the cost of extracting lithium from lepidolite is the highest and the least competitive. The cost of lithium carbonate in South American salt lakes is at least about 30,000 yuan per ton, while the cost of extracting lithium from domestic salt lakes is 30,000 to 50,000 yuan per ton. The cost of extracting lithium from spodumene is 60,000 to 80,000 yuan per ton, and the cost of extracting lithium from lepidolite is 60 to 80,000 yuan per ton. The cost of lithium is 120,000 to 130,000 yuan per ton. The starting point of this round of lithium carbonate market is 40,000 yuan per ton. If the price drops below 40,000 yuan, domestic lepidolite lithium extraction companies will be struggling.
The blogger said that because lithium slag contains toxic substances such as fluorine and thallium, the pollution is serious. At present, a large amount of waste gas, wastewater, and lithium residue discharged by lithium companies have polluted the Jingjiang River in Yichun.
Yichun is known as the lithium capital of Asia. Our total lithium reserves are enough to make almost 600 million new energy vehicles and include the equivalent of more than 20 million tons of lithium carbonate. In 2022, the prices were as high as 600,000 yuan per ton, and later it was below 100,000 yuan per ton, causing losses for many of our lithium companies. In 2023, the total lithium carbonate production capacity in Yichun City will be approximately 160,000 tons, accounting for 34.5% of the country.
Lithium companies have faced cost increases and production shutdowns, while the overcapacity of electric vehicle power batteries has caused the collapse of lithium battery manufacturers.
The EV apocalypse is coming. The electric car factory did not close down, but the battery factory went bankrupt first. All car companies are paying attention to this matter. Recently, Gateway Battery announced that it has ceased production. It once supplied batteries to major car companies such as Neta-Aya, Geely, Nissan, SAIC, and Chery. This company isn't small. In terms of market share, it ranked among the top 11 in 2022. Even more frightening, in 2016, there were 217 power battery manufacturers in the country. In 2019, there were 69. In 2022, there were 57. In the first 10 months of 2023, there were 48. This year, there are 9 fewer companies. In the past, when car manufacturers closed down, it was a big deal. Now when battery manufacturers stop production, no one bats an eye. But with a new energy vehicle everywhere now, if the battery manufacturers stop production, what will happen to the electric car you drive? Battery maintenance does not rely on 4S stores, but on battery manufacturers. The manufacturers send people to repair it for you, or the batteries they provide are replaced at the 4S store. So now they have stopped work and production. If the battery breaks down in the future, your car will become scrap metal. Vehicle warranty will be a big problem. Someone said, wouldn't it be enough to replace it with another battery? Don't be naive. A car is already matched with a battery when it is built. The arrangement of the speed limit control unit battery pack in the car is different. The reserve interfaces are also different, and even the battery sizes are all different, so the possibility that batteries from different brands can be used universally is very small. The risk is huge. Is after-sales service guaranteed? Manufacturers who are currently focusing on developing electric vehicles, how should they respond if one day the supporting battery manufacturer goes bankrupt and stops producing? How should you deal with driving an EV?
JEVE, which ceased production and operations on December 1st last year, is one of several new energy enterprises under the investment of Fosun International Limited. Other new energy ventures under Fosun include the now defunct WM Motors and Borgward Motors. Tianjin JEVE is a well-known battery company, once ranking among the top 10 in domestic power battery installations. It has two major production bases in Yancheng, Jiangsu, and Changxing, Zhejiang, and maintains cooperative relationships with well-known domestic car manufacturers such as Dongfeng, Chery, Zoetia, and Chang'an. Due to a sluggish market and a sharp drop in upstream prices, leading to high inventory pressure and reduced downstream orders, the excess production capacity has led to idleness. At a press conference in August 2023, JEVE CEO boasted that the company planned to reach a power battery production capacity of 100 gigawatt-hours by 2025. However, just 4 months later, the company announced its shutdown. With a severe surplus of batteries, the EV industry is facing its darkest hour. In December last year, some predicted that in 2024, except for the leading manufacturers, the entire Chinese battery industry would be completely wiped out.
The futures price of lithium carbonate in March 2024 is expected to fall below 1 million yuan per ton, dropping from its peak of 3 million yuan per ton in 2023. The highest point in 2023 is 300,000 yuan per ton. Power battery companies are suspending production and taking holidays, and a wave of layoffs is taking place. At present, the entire industry has built an industry production capacity of more than 2,000 gigawatt hours, but the annual battery shipments are less than 1,000 gigawatt hours, which means that the capacity utilization rate is less than 50%. The total market share of leading players, CATL, BYD, and Eve Battery exceeds 80%, which means that the market share of all subsequent players is less than 20%. In the first 3 quarters of 2023, the capacity utilization rate of leading players is 60%, which means the average capacity utilization rate of all subsequent companies is less than 20%. The total production capacity planned in 2025 has exceeded 6,000 gigawatt hours. The global sales of EV passenger vehicles in 2025 are estimated to be 16 million units, including the total demand for batteries in other fields. The total demand is only 1,200 gigawatt hours, and the industry's capacity utilization rate is only 20%.
In the period between January and October 2023, a total of 48 power battery companies in the Chinese EV market achieved vehicle installation. CATL, BYD, and Calbtech ranked top 3 in market share, accounting for 42.8%, 28.6%, and 9% respectively. This means that the top 3 companies occupy 80% of the market share, while companies ranking from 4th to 10th each hold 1% to 4% of the market share. Companies outside the top 10 have even less room for survival, indicating fiercer competition. Despite being ranked 13th in market share, JEVE Power, which has ceased operations, only holds 0.3% of the market. Even for leading power battery companies, there are signs of a decrease in capacity utilization this year. The financial report of the leading domestic power battery company, CATL, shows that in the first half of the year, the battery system capacity was 254 gigawatt-hours, with an output of 154 gigawatt-hours and a capacity utilization rate dropping from 83.4% in 2022 to 60.5% this year. Additionally, the capacity utilization rate of Eve Energy's lithium-ion battery has also decreased from 88.5% in 2022 to 78.5% in the first half of this year. Mo Ke, the founder of Really Research, stated that before 2022, the entire industry had produced around 100 gigawatt-hours of power batteries in excess. If we calculate based on an average of 50 kilowatt-hours per new energy vehicle, the inventory of batteries is enough to equip 2 million vehicles. Facing enormous inventory and declining demand pressures, battery cell prices have been continuously falling since 2023. Data shows that the average price of square power battery cells, lithium iron phosphate, has dropped from 0.82 yuan per watt-hour in January to 0.42 yuan per watt-hour in March 2024, a decrease of over 49%. The price of ternary power battery cells has dropped from 0.9 per watt-hour in January 2023 to 0.48 yuan per watt-hour in March 2024, a decrease of over 48%. A mid-level employee of a leading battery company revealed to the media that insufficient orders, leading to a decrease in capacity utilization, is a common problem faced by most power battery manufacturers. Another headhunter, focusing on the lithium battery industry, stated that compared to the same period in 2021 and the middle of 2022, business in the EV battery industry has dropped significantly. The direct cause for overcapacity is that expansion of production has far exceeded the growth of market demand. Yang Tianbao, vice president of the China Electric Power Engineering and Technology Association, said that upstream power battery companies have not met international standards in product technology, cost control, and production management systems. Midstream companies are trapped in a dilemma of scale, with blind expansion leading to overcapacity, resulting in wasted capital, insufficient research and development accumulation, and a lack of talent. Downstream companies are facing bubbles, insufficient funds, technology, and talent. These factors make the industry unfavorable for quality and healthy competition. At the end of 2022, China's total power battery capacity was 1,860 gigawatt-hours, an increase of 47.6% in just half a year. Meanwhile, the growth rate of the domestic new energy vehicle market in the first half of this year was 44.1%. Yang Tianbao told China City News that the current Chinese battery industry is experiencing blind expansion of production capacity, presenting an overall phenomenon of more scattered, chaotic, and inferior. However, the overcapacity is more of a structural surplus, facing the problem of insufficient high-end capacity and the inability to digest the surplus of low-end capacity, and excellent products are always in short supply. The latest data from the China Automotive Power Battery Industry Innovation Alliance shows that in 2023, a total of 52 Chinese battery companies had their products installed in vehicles, a decrease of 5 compared to the same period last year, with an elimination rate close to 10%. On the other hand, the top 10 power battery companies achieved a total vehicle installation volume of 375.3 gigawatt-hours, accounting for 96.8% of the total vehicle installation volume. These top companies are getting stronger, while those ranking lower are finding it increasingly difficult. Netizens commented, "There's a lack of technical content, and anyone can start a business. They rise quickly, but also fall quickly. Seeing that there is money to be made, everyone rushes into whatever project is hot, leading to the proliferation of new energy industrial parks, resulting in redundant investment and ultimately vicious competition." Amidst the intensified reshuffle of the power battery industry, energy storage and overseas exports have become one of the survival and developmental strategies for companies. From January to October last year, China's total exports of power and energy storage batteries reached 115.7 gigawatt-hours, accounting for 20.8% of the sales in the first 10 months. Industry giants such as CATL, Ferasis Energy, Gotion, Eve Technology, and Sunwoda have announced plans to build factories overseas. However, the road to global is bound to be difficult due to vigilance in other countries against the Chinese Communist Party. In fact, in addition to battery factory shutdowns, there are challenges of 4 major materials for lithium batteries: anode materials, cathode materials, separators, and electrolytes. Regarding capacity utilization, several companies have disclosed that the overall capacity utilization rate of the anode material industry significantly decreased in 2023. Even leading companies like Shanghai Technology announced production halts in the first quarter of 2023. On the evening of March 27, 2023, Shanghai Technology announced the shutdown of its Lichengdao base. The Lichengdao base, which began construction in 2008, was Shanghai Technology's earliest production base, as well as the company's entrepreneurial starting point and birthplace, with an annual capacity of over 10,000 tons. Shanghai Technology explicitly stated in an announcement, "The entire anode material industry is facing overcapacity as the supply-demand balance has been reversed." The operation rates of lithium iron phosphate cathode material manufacturers has also fallen short. Market data shows that in November 2023, the average operating rate of manufacturers was less than 50%, and from December to the present, it has accelerated to around 20%. The production of lithium iron phosphate cathode materials has reached a new low since June 2023.